I've been sitting on this for a while now, because as you all know, I've been extensively covering this topic about Hunter x Hunter's overall future for a few videos now. Like, for instance, with this video I made, like, last week, and ever since, basically, like, December of, 2022, the overall status or direction of where the Hunter x Hunter manga was left up in the air. We didn't necessarily know if, like, it was going to remain a weekly Shonen Jump, if it was going to just become a bi-weekly, and let's say, Shonen Jump Plus, or it was going to shift completely to a different magazine, maybe go to a seinen magazine, or if the series altogether would just be done. We really had no idea, because the overall status of Hunter x Hunter, like I said, was left pretty much very vague. And this is not necessarily anything new here with this overall statement. Basically, thanks to the Shonen Jump department talking with Togashi, they're like, we have decided to publish Hunter x Hunter other than a weekly serialization. Basically, they 100% already confirmed, this is old news, that, it's not going to be weekly. We've known this. But like I said, I've been just sitting on this thinking about this, and it's just like, it really is an end of an era. Because it's like, when you think about Hunter x Hunter, and how many chapters it has, to just how long it's been going, it's basically as old as One Piece. And I think a lot of people, when they think about just the grand scale of One Piece, and like how One Piece has over 1,000 chapters, sometimes don't realize that Hunter x Hunter as a series, this series right here, has been ongoing just as long as One Piece, but obviously has nowhere near the same amount of chapters thanks to the overall hiatus of, the mangaka, Togashi. And I'll talk more about that in a second, but the point is that I think for a long time now, for many, many years, honestly, years, almost a decade, basically, I think, that the fans in the community of Hunter x Hunter can all collectively agree, we think that a weekly format for Hunter x Hunter is probably not the best idea. Because to the amount of content that, this man, Yoshihiro Togashi puts into his chapters, to just the extensive nature of Hunter x Hunter when it comes to the lore, the world building, the characters, and the depth to it, it's not something that is relatively easy in a weekly format. And because of that, I think that any true fan of Hunter x Hunter would probably agree, yeah, the series should definitely not be weekly anymore. It should go bi-weekly, maybe once a month, etc., to allow Yoshihiro Togashi more time to work on these chapters. And this also goes along with his overall health. And let's look at this statement here. Thank you for reading Hunter x Hunter. As for the publication of the manga, chapter 401 and after, we have discussed with Togashi about his health condition, and as a result, we have decided to publish Hunter x Hunter in a format other than weekly serialization. So, once again, old news, but the thing is that they mention Togashi's health. And if there is one thing that has been very consistent over the years, I think we can all collectively agree on, is that Togashi's health is obviously not good. He definitely has a lot of health problems, to his offer comments saying he literally can't walk, to how he can't even use the bathroom right, to just the extensive long hiatuses, like multi-year hiatuses. It's very clear the man isn't healthy. And I know that a lot of people in the community, people that like to meme and joke around, like to say it's just because he's playing Dragon Quest. That's the reason why he takes all these hiatuses. And maybe at one point, maybe. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know anything about Togashi's living situation. But it doesn't change the fact that he clearly doesn't have a healthy lifestyle. Or at least his health isn't, good. And all these breaks and stuff really, definitely show that. I think nobody can deny. And he is getting up there in age. I think anyone that knows how old he is, etc. He's getting up there. He's getting older. And with all the stuff that's happened in, the anime and manga community, with all these vast and very well-known, let's say, either animators or creators or mangaka that have just passed away in recent years, obviously this might put Togashi in more of a somber mood, or a mood to where he feels a little bit sad. I think what happened recently with all these deaths and stuff has really sparked Togashi, put a fire under him, so to speak, to try to get his workout. And there is definitely one thing that I think anyone can agree on as well, is that he clearly loves Hunter x Hunter. I think that is a huge indication with just, despite all these health concerns, all these hiatuses, there's two things we can gather. He loves working on Hunter x Hunter to some degree, and the fans, the community will continue to read it as long as he writes it. And I think this is definitely something that anyone can really key in on, because every time Hunter x Hunter comes out, like, I mean, look, let's go down this history, okay? Let's, like, look at the beginning, where it all started with his, like, Twitter account, when he actually made an official Twitter account, started talking about Hunter x Hunter, and it blew up, and everybody's like, holy crap, what's going on here, etc. His tweets just, they went viral. This man doesn't follow anyone. He literally just made one tweet, and the man gained, like, 2 million followers, like, in just a day. He is an absolute crazy mangaka in terms of just popularity. People love Hunter x Hunter. They want to know what he's doing, what he's working on, and this is one of the first times that Togashi's basically ever really been public about his work life, because as much as he tells us that his health isn't good, he's a very private person, so to speak. When you really think about it, he really is. He doesn't let us know, and I think that him being more, I guess, open and letting people know that he's working on Hunter x Hunter allows him to form this bond with his audience and let us know that he hasn't given up on the series and he isn't just sitting around doing nothing. He does care about Hunter x Hunter, and that definitely shows with all these posts, all this time and dedication. This man was literally writing chapters for basically a year plus before we even got the first chapter last year. And it shows how much he really does love the series, how much time and dedication and planning he puts into his series. And I know that a lot of people say, why doesn't he just get more assistants, or why doesn't he just write a light novel? But I think a little portion of this is a little bit about pride as well. I feel like Togashi, just looking at his writing and his interviews and his offer comments, I think he's a little bit of a prideful man. I could be wrong there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he does seem very prideful, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should be prideful in something, I think. And I think he's very prideful in his work, which has resulted in probably such a long time of him not wanting to take, let's say, call it quits, to also probably switching magazines. Because I think that this offer comment alone just says it enough, that after all these years, like, for instance, Togashi's been going on extensive hiatuses basically since 2009. That's a long time ago. Like, really, that's over 10 years. Way over 10 years. And the fact that this man has stayed in the magazine, despite all these, like, year-long hiatuses, it's like, wow, what kind of took so long? And the fact that it's finally happening, it's just like, wow, now of all times. It really is showing that Togashi is wanting to get this series done the best he can, in the way he can. And he's willing to actually bend his overall, I guess, maybe pride or something to be able to do it. And it shows that in his own way, he is trying to say, yes, my fellow readers, I really do want to complete this story. I want to give you guys the best I can while I can for Hunter x Hunter. It's honestly fascinating, and it's sad because I feel bad for Togashi. I think that he gets a lot of flack as an author. I feel like a lot of people are quick to just throw him under the bus and say he's lazy, etc. And it's a very common, like, meme in the manga anime community. I think it is. And I think that he puts a lot of love and passion into his work. Hunter x Hunter is easily one of the best manga and anime I've ever seen in my entire life. To this day, even though it's been years since I basically first witnessed him, it is absolutely fantastic. And obviously, thanks to just the brilliance of Togashi, he's inspired many authors in, let's say, Shonen Jump. And I think that's evident enough of just how wide and massive his impact is. So, I think that overall, when it comes to this news that we've been following for about a few months now, to, this, to just, his Twitter account, and he kind of went silent as well. He legit went silent in November. He stopped posting altogether, basically saying, he's done and all that. And we know from, his previous post that he finished quite a bit. This right here, he's finished quite a bit of stuff of the story and all that. He's done so much. It's clear that he's still writing and he's doing stuff, but I think that he's probably going through some, a shift right now, and I wonder what magazine he's going to wind up on, because, with everything going on with, Hunter x Hunter, how it's no longer going to be weekly, my assumption is he's going to be in probably Jump Plus, with Chainsaw Man, Don Da Don, etc. That's what, magazine he's going to be in. because it's very clear that Jump Plus is gaining a lot of traction, a lot of steam, and in terms of titles, I think that Jump Plus probably has better to offer than just Weekly Shonen Jump. I want to keep it real. I know that there's good titles in Weekly Shonen Jump, I'm not denying that, but I think Jump Plus really does have a huge catalog to offer in terms of just variety, and I think that Hunter x Hunter being a part of Jump Plus would definitely boost that overall area of Jump Plus even more than it already is. Even though Chainsaw Man's there, it's going to be insane. Chainsaw Man and Hunter x Hunter a part of that magazine. But there's also another possibility. Maybe Hunter x Hunter will shift into maybe a seinen magazine of some kind, change demographics, so to speak, and allow more freedom with his writing. Because if there is one thing we could definitely point out with, let's say, Togashi in his writing, I feel like with Yu Yu Hakusho, if there's one example, I feel like he was restricted. I remember there was an interview years ago, like it's been like probably 2 decades now at this point, but it's basically, there was an interview where he said that he had to wrap up Yu Yu Hakusho, and Shonen Jump wouldn't allow him to do what he wanted. They wouldn't allow him to write his characters and like rip them apart and all that, and he got very bitter, very angry, and he said that he created the villains at the final part of Yu Yu Hakusho as his emotions, his emotional state towards Shonen Jump, to also just how he felt about the world, etc. And it's very clear as well that he's done many times throughout, let's say, Hunter x Hunter, he's, like, made certain characters or villain groups as well called Shueisha or Shonen Jump. It's clear that he has some anger towards them. Maybe not, like, full-on hatred, but there is some, I guess, anger towards them. And I feel like that's probably one thing that's kept him around for so long, and he just didn't want to completely give up and give what Shonen Jump wanted. He didn't want to budge, so to speak. I could be wrong there, so maybe allowing him to switch magazines completely separated from Shonen Jump would allow him more freedom and leeway to do what he wants without being restricted in any way. I think that would probably be very good for him. I think that would be the best ideal situation for Hunter x Hunter if he no longer had restrictions of like having to cater maybe towards a younger audience. Because, let's keep it real, people that are obviously reading Hunter x Hunter now are probably no longer just kids. Probably adults now. Like, it's, once again, Hunter x Hunter is as old as One Piece. And let's be fair, most people that probably watch One Piece or read One Piece are probably young adults now, or very, very late in your teens. It's definitely not a series that is for, let's say, 12 to 13-year-olds anymore. One Piece has evolved, and I feel like Hunter x Hunter is a good example of that. And so, because of these aging series and stuff, and the fan base obviously aging alongside of it, I feel like it's better if it does. Less restriction. So, overall, the main thing I wanted to point out is that I feel like it's an end of an era for Hunter x Hunter to obviously be ending weekly serialization. I think it's for the best, though, for the health of Togashi. Even if, like, hypothetically, if we're going on a limb here, let's just say he never returns. Let's go down that dark path, okay? Let's just say Hunter x Hunter never returns. I think in the grand scheme of things, it would be better that Togashi ends it and keeps his health better, like he gets better, and he ends Hunter x Hunter, and he just lives a good life. Because I feel like even if we never have a completed story of Hunter x Hunter, so to speak, the amount of joy we have all received from it, even if there is hypothetically unanswered questions, is immense. And I think nothing will ever really change just how beautiful the world of Hunter x Hunter actually is. But I guess I'll leave it at that. I wanted to talk about this topic because it's been in my head for about a few weeks now, honestly, ever since kind of like I first started covering this topic. But, yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and I gave you any form of entertainment, etc., do leave me a like, leave a comment down below how you felt about it as well. But with that, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.